show and I think, you know, on this episode you can say they did focus on one thing very hard to make it work. Doesn't mean I enjoyed it. I didn't. I'm sorry. I just didn't enjoy the focus. I just don't enjoy it. If they had done a swerve at the end of the show with that focus, I would have enjoyed it. But I'll explain that in a minute. Overall, this show was okay. It was. But let's go through the numbers. Let's go with Liv Morgan versus Charlotte. I want to get this over with because of, well, nothing's there. Look, my thoughts on Charlotte really haven't changed much. I just don't believe that she's seasoned enough to be a top player. I know a lot of people say, are you freaking stupid? She performs so great in the ring. Well, guess what? As long as they're from NXT during the generation she came up from, oh, she'll do great with them. But when you give someone new, it's sloppy. And when you look at this match, it was sloppy. Now, mind you, most of it was Charlotte. The other half was Liv Morgan. And you guys tell me below, what is the persona Liv Morgan's giving off? My guess is it's like an early Carmella. Not a Dana Brooke. Not an Alexa Britt. I hate to say this about someone, that they really don't have anything and they're using someone else's gimmick that they used to have at one point. So when I look at Liv Morgan, I see a young Carmella in NXT that has not fully developed yet. That's the way she looks to me. Particularly that we rarely see her talk. We rarely see her do anything outside the Riot Squad. So she just feels like an early Carmella. The match really was not that great. It just wasn't. It wasn't. Winning didn't matter to me. I would have been surprised if Liv Morgan had won. And I knew she wasn't going to win. Because no one is going to let Charlotte lose. Because they still haven't said who Asuka's going after. And we know Asuka's going to go after Alexa Bliss. It's just, this is what you get. I would rather see what's going to happen with Ronda Rousey. It would have been better if she's shown already and put her on the roster before WrestleMania, because she's going to have to get used to this situation. Let her work in NXT or let her work in Smackdown Live. You got to give her something to do. Don't let her be in the back until maybe a month before WrestleMania. Give her a couple of months to build up into it. She needs something to do. That's just me. Luke and Eric, the Bludgeon Brothers, versus, I think, Jobber Group number 3 or Jobber Group number 4. I can't remember how many jobbers they gone through. They destroyed these guys in quick succession. Now, here's the problem I have. It's a very minor one, but I gotta say it. Luke needs to talk. I'm not saying every single time they come out. They can talk very rarely. But I feel that now he needs to say something. Say they want the Usos. Say that the Usos are what they want. And I know a lot of people say you're rushing it. No. I'm saying that they need to say, we want the titles. And we'll go through everyone together. That's who they need to go through. They need to go through everyone. Next group they need to go through is Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. And I'll get to them in a minute, but you get my point. They need to go through them. They need to say something. They need to say, we're going after the titles. We're going to go after everyone. Luke, Eric, Bludgeon Brothers, throw the mic down and walk away. That's what needs to be done. And they're not doing it yet. And I feel like they're dragging it, and it's not the wisest thing to do. You can drag out before WrestleMania, yes. But I do believe they need to state what their intentions are. At least if they're not going after the titles, they just need to do a promo in the back. Or promo in the ring would be better. Because I really believe they need to be in a promo in the ring. It just needs something. Now, since I talked about them, Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, the two that should have never been paired so quickly versus the Ascension. You guys tell me below. When the Ascension was in NXT, from what I understood, and I did see them a couple of times, but I didn't watch the product a lot back then. Very rarely I watched it. It was hard doing all those shows, doing Smackdown reviews, then doing reality wrestling, then doing the pay-per-views, then doing Impact Wrestling, I just couldn't bring myself to do another show. But when I did see them, I thought they had something good. And look what they did with them. Absolutely nothing. And that's what this match was. Absolutely nothing. It was nothing here. When you look at Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, you wonder who did they piss off? Because yes, they got right where the Usos were. Then they dropped like a rock down here. They're not even in frame. They should have never been allowed to pair this soon. I know a lot of people going to say, I know Deluxe Man, if he ever saw my videos, and if he did, dude, how you doing? I love your content. You do great work. But I would say this. It made no sense to pair these two up so freaking quickly last year. It just made no sense. Chad Gable should have been allowed to stay by himself longer and to job more. Shelton Benjamin should have been allowed to have at least 1 or 2 wins, and then he started having a losing streak, and then Kurt Angle's the one that said, you guys need to be together. You need to be together. This is the best thing for you. And then you do this with the Usos, and then you do this with the New Day, and then you do this with the Bludgeon Brothers. That would have been a better way and a lot more productive. But as you know, they didn't go down that route, and it's a big waste. That's just me. Top 10 of Smackdown Live. Really? This was kind of a surprise for me personally that they actually did go through with this. That's if they did do this, or this is just management doing it. And they're telling everyone to tweet that they did vote for the person they wanted. The ones that made me happy was Naomi came in 4th. I wish she was 2nd. Usos, they were voted for. New Day was voted for, but they were a bit high. No, they were a bit low on the rating. I mean, you could have brought the Usos and the New Day a little bit higher, going to number 1. I think that would have been more better. But it is what it is. And it was AJ Styles that was considered the best next to Charlotte, which I'm still saying it. I'm not against Charlotte. I want people to understand it. I'm not, but I just don't believe she's seasoned enough. She doesn't talk very well. She can't adapt in the ring like her father, because when it came down to it, I gotta say this again, when it came to Charlotte working in this business, she does not have her father's versatility. She just does not even close. She has to work with people that she's highly familiar with if she's going to get the job done properly. When she's dealing with someone she's not familiar with, she's incredibly sloppy, which turns me off. But that's just me. I would have liked to see Naomi 3, Shinsuke Nakamura 2, and AJ Styles could still be 1, and 4 could be the Usos, and 5 could have been New Day, and everyone else under that. That would have been a better list for me personally, but that's just me. A match that was good, but characters just sucked. Rusev versus Bobby Roode. Look, Rusev's a face. Everyone cheers for him. Look what happened at the beginning of the show. When it came to Shane and Daniel Bryan, people were saying Rusev Day. Rusev Day. They know how much people want to cheer these guys because they are faces. And then you look at Bobby Roode, who is not a face. He's a great, when he has the right character, he's a great face. But he's a better heel. He's just so good as a heel. And they're going against the grain with both of these guys. And I say this again, and I'm going to keep saying it again. I'm going to keep saying it again. Who made Rusev? Who made Rusev? Not Lana. Lana wasn't with him for a while. Who made Rusev Rusev Day? It is Aiden English. Without Rusev and Aiden English, there is no Rusev Day. Without Aiden English, there's no Rusev Day. Rusev only got over because of Aiden English and his charisma. If no one believes me, tell me the reason why I'm wrong. Because there's no way. If Aiden English is gone, Rusev is done. He goes right back into the minors. And that's what you got in this match. I just felt like this was going against the grain. You got a Rusev who's doing heelish tendencies with Aiden English. And then you got a Bobby Roode who's being a clean face instead of being a dirty heel. He needs to be dirty heels with Austin Aries, which unfortunately Austin Aries has gone back to Impact Wrestling. He's not there. I would love dirty heels to come back, but you know what I mean. In the end, it was Bobby Roode who won, but I just didn't care that much. Even though I do like Rusev with Aiden English and I do like Bobby Roode, I just don't like their characters. They need to flip. I'm just saying. Let me see. Am I forgetting anything else? Corey Graves' beef with... I gotta say something about this. Because I have noticed that Corey Graves and Booker T was having a lot of friction. And you can't say that it didn't sound like it was really genuine. And I did see the Lex Man's video on it. And I have looked at Corey Graves and how he's been treating the rest of the roster. Including when it came to Todd Phillips. And when it came to, I forgot, Brian Saxton. He tends to rub people the wrong way. Mind you, he's a good commentator. And I am glad that he took over for Michael Cole. I was sick of Michael Cole going from one show to another and botching his ass off way worse than a Corey Graves. If no one likes Corey, I understand. But in this case, he needed to take over because you have a worse botchy Michael Cole than a semi-botchy Corey Graves. I just think... I don't know why he is antagonizing Booker T to the point where Booker just wants to wait until he gets outside and beat the crap out of him. But in the end, if something can be written as a story, that would be wise. I know Booker T doesn't wrestle anymore, at least not in WWE, and I know Corey Graves generally can't wrestle due to the fact of the concussion problems he had. But you can do a storyline with them stating that they have beef and other people can wrestle for them. It actually would give us something similar to what happened with JB and Josh Matthews. I wouldn't mind seeing that in WWE. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Anyway, end of the show, which was disappointing. Excuse me. For me, it was disappointing. I'm sorry, it is. I was hoping, this is me. Yes, they were having conflict between each other, but I did believe that Sammy as well as Kevin could have been allowed to stay together a little longer. And should stay together longer. I was hoping that they had this match all tricked out. That they did do a little bit of wrestling, but then when it was time, that Sammy would be given the win as Kevin Owens did the finger point. The finger poke of doom would have been so epic here. That they played everybody. I wanted to see Sami Zayn give the finger poke of doom to Kevin Owens. He hits the floor. There you go. Shut the fuck up. That is what I wanted. I know that's stupid. I'm sorry for cursing. But you know what I mean. Something to give us a twist on Smackdown Live. Not paint by numbers. Because that's what we got here. Sami Zayn had a good match with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens had a good match with Sami Zayn. AJ Styles, who was at ringside, got pissed off because Sami Zayn got in his face and then started beating up on both of them. And guess who came out? Daniel Bryan. And now at Fastlane, it's a triple threat. What a waste. They could have had something special. Now, mind you, they're still going with this storyline that Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan have some level of frustration between each other. But this only works if there's going to be a match at WrestleMania. If there is no match at WrestleMania, if this is just to keep people distracted from seeing that they can't get Daniel Bryan to wrestle, Shane McMahon really doesn't have any control of his character, this is going to piss people off after WrestleMania. They need to actually have a match, or they need to drop this right now. Because once WrestleMania rolls around and there is no match, this was a total waste of time. And people are going to hate SmackDown Live more than they are now. But this is just my point of view. Have a good day, have a good night, and watch for my Impact Wrestling review. Peace.